Hi, everyone. I think we're
Hello.
live.
We are.
Awesome. So, hello. Welcome to our live stream today. I'm so excited. If you're here with us live, make sure you, Megan, what's the protocol for being able to comment so that we can see them?
Yes. So if you are watching on Facebook, be sure to click the link in the description of this video. You should see a link that's saying StreamYard needs your permission to let us see your comments. So click that link. You only have to do it once, and then we'll be able to see your name with your comments. So that way we know who you are and who's here with us. So please do that when you
Awesome.
get a chance. I believe if you're on YouTube, you don't need to do anything at all. We should be able to see your comments.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited to be here with you today. We have a very exciting announcement. We have a very cool thing to share with you all, and a little bit of the behind the scenes of how we got here. But before we do, I want to do some quick introductions. I am Mariah Cause of mariahcause.com, but soon to be telling you something else. And we help our clients create their evergreen funnels, launch their high ticket offers, enroll clients into their high ticket programs without sales calls, all those good things. And I'm here with my VP of Operations, Megan Mins.
Hi, yeah, I'm Megan Mins. I'm VP of Operations, and I've been working with Mariah since 2015. As VP of Operations, I really help the leaders on our team lead and manage their departments and get to focus on the back end of the company. So it's a really fun job.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for being here. So I'm just going to get right into it. We are here
Let's do
today
it.
with a really exciting announcement. We are here to unveil our new brand, our new name as a company, our new website, our new everything. I am so thrilled. This has simultaneously been years in the making, but also happened very quickly over the last few months when we finally started getting into the groove. And I'll just go ahead and share with you all our new brand from here on out is Fearless CEO. And even just saying that out loud, I can't believe it's real.
I know. I can't believe we're saying it out loud. It's been something we've been working towards and talking about. I mean, ultimately, for years, we've been working towards
Yes.
this moment. So being able
Yes.
to reveal the new brand name, and Mariah's going to go into a little bit more detail of what this name means to us in just a couple of minutes. But I can't believe we're announcing it. It's a big milestone for us to have a new company name.
I know. And the website is live now. So if you're watching this live with us, or if you're watching the replay, the website literally just went live like 20 minutes ago. And we wanted to do this live stream to tell you all that the new brand is live, the new website is live. There's all new stuff. There's tons of new freebies on the website. If you want to go and check out, we just added a ton of masterclasses that we've created over the years. We added them all to this amazing like vault of trainings that you can get access to. So definitely go to the website, check it out, read all the stuff on there. We've got tons of articles, we've got videos, we've got, there actually is a video on the homepage that is explaining a little bit even more behind the scenes of the Fearless CEO meaning, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today. But if you want to get into even more detail, there's a video on the homepage that's actually a clip from an internal meeting, which is something I don't usually share. It's a very vulnerable thing to share publicly, but it's actually a clip from when I told my team about the new name of the company. And you can kind of see like how we talked to the team about it and when they heard it for the first time.
Yeah, I had no idea you were putting that on the website until the
Yeah.
other day. And I thought it was so cool to be able to share more of the story publicly, because the meaning behind the name, I don't know about anyone who's listening or watching, but if you've ever had to name something before, sometimes it can seem nebulous. And I think when you're
Yes.
rebranding a company name, it's bold. And so to come to a name that has such meaning and intention and
Yeah.
purpose feels so good. And I'm really excited to kind of dig into that meaning with everyone live here right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big process. And so, a little bit of the behind the scenes, I want to share how we came to this name and what it means to us. But, even just the idea of like, why shift away from mariahcause.com or personal brand? I mean, obviously, I'm a strategist. We get a lot of questions about, should I have a personal brand? Should I have a brand name? For years and years, we've been mariahcause.com, but it was always my intention to have a brand name, to have a umbrella that more, it's always kind of funny because even though Mariah Cause has been the brand for the last few years, we've never been a one-woman show. Like there's like, I'm not the only coach in my company. I have 20 team members. Like there's a whole group of people who make this happen every day. And there's a lot of people on my team who are content creators and contributors and coaches, and they're like, they're in there, with our clients every single day. And it's like from the outside, it kind of has looked like, oh, it's the Mariah Cause show. She's on everything, and just that it's like I'm the main person, but it really has grown into so much more than that. And it was like high time that the brand represented like how our company has really turned into a collective of people.
Quite a journey we've been on.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, Mariah Cause was always meant to be a temporary placeholder. And we
Yes.
just wanted to make sure we didn't transition to a new company name until it had a purpose and a reason, which I'm so happy we did. It was the perfect thing to do.
Yeah, I was like for years we've been wanting to come up with a new brand name, really build something bigger than just my personal brand. And we've been doing that regardless. It's like, hey, until we come up with a perfect brand name, we're going to keep going down that path. And once we figure out what that is, I always kind of trusted that, which is kind of one of the themes of the Fearless CEO is like, I trusted that it would come at the right time and that I would know when it was the right thing at the right time. And so I wasn't rushing it, although there was a time in the past where I was like, we need to think of a new name right now. I kind of let go of that and said, you know what, like when the right thing comes, we'll know, and it'll be the perfect timing. And so that's kind of what has happened. So I want to give a little backstory and get a little personal about where the Fearless CEO brand comes from and what it means to me and kind of why I feel so connected to it. I'm curious if you're listening and if you're here with us live or you're watching the replay, when you say Fearless CEO out loud, if you feel that, if it resonates with you, I would love to know. For me, it's something I literally like feel in my body when I say it out loud. And I knew that was the sign that it's something special, something that was really like taking hold of me. So I'll talk a little bit about the behind the scenes. So over the last 2 years, our company has grown so quickly. We have grown in team size. We've gone from 4 team members to over 20 full-time team members. We've grown from $1 million business to a $5+ million business. We've grown from, 50 active clients to at one point over like 500 active clients between 2 different programs, like spread across our different programs and products. And like, we just have grown a lot and everything became bigger and everything became more and everything became like the next level. And for me, as the CEO whose mind had to kind of catch up to that reality, I really think that's what it feels like, where it's like, I haven't caught up to the fact that I'm the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company with like 20 something employees. Like that doesn't even sometimes now, I'm like, who, me? And so as all that was happening in the last few months of last year, so this is like in 2021, I would say in the sort of like middle, few months of that year and going into the end of that year, as we start, as we're growing and everything's leveling up and there's more employees and there's more team and there's more money and there's all this stuff, I became, sorry, I'm not getting emotional. I just breathed wrong.
You need to take a sip of water.
Yeah, probably should.
You've been doing a lot of talking this week as we've been working with clients and rolling out fun things behind the scenes.
Yeah. So as all those things were happening, I became increasingly afraid. I became increasingly fearful of messing up, of making a giant mistake, of making the wrong decision, of doing something wrong, and this fear that not only will I mess up, will I make a mistake, will I totally go down the wrong path and like waste everyone's time, but that it was going to impact so many more people if I did make a mistake. And that was the part that was like, oh my gosh, like all of a sudden the fear and the anxiety of like having more to deal with and being responsible for more and having like just that impact, it's like, this is going to impact thousands of our customers. It's going to impact dozens of our employees. This is going to impact, all these things. Right. And it just felt like, and if you make a mistake, it's like, oh, it's a $10,000 mistake or it's $1 million mistake. Right. Like, everything is just bigger. And it was like, wow, there's a lot more at stake now. And that can be really challenging. And I found myself becoming increasingly afraid of messing up and increasingly afraid of like doing the wrong thing, whatever that means, right? I just became like, oh my gosh, like every day, like I can't mess it up. I can't ruin it. It's all going to fall apart. I'm going to fail, increasingly afraid of failure. Again, not even like in a tangible way, just in general, like everything's just going to fall apart and I'm going to be a failure and everyone's going to see it. Right. And there's more to lose and there's more at stake and all this stuff. I became increasingly fearful. And I remember saying to Megan and saying to another friend of ours, who's also a business owner, and saying, I can tell, like I can feel that I am making a lot of decisions and acting out of fear a lot right now. Like I can tell that like you ask me about something and I'm making the fearful decision. And like I can feel it. I can feel in my body that like I want to hide and I want to shrink and I want to make the safe decision and which is like not even in a real way, like in a false sense of like, let's just do the thing that we know. And I could feel that. And I said, I wish I could just practice being fearless for like 30 days. And I said to Megan, even, I said like, this was before we even thought, this was way before like the brand idea or anything. I was like, I wonder what it would be like to just like, if I just acted fearlessly for like 30 days, like every decision that you ask me about, we make the fearless decision, or like every day it's like, right, you can either show up fearlessly or you can show up or you can get back in bed, right? Like all these things where I was like, what would that even look like? Like, I wonder where our business would be in 30 days if I did this like 30-day challenge or something where I just like acted fearlessly and made decisions fearlessly every day. And I really wished for that. And so then I became obsessed with asking myself this question, with that awareness, that self-awareness that's like, I am gripped by fear right now. Like fear is driving the bus right now, 1,000%. Like my fear of failure, my fear of making a mistake, my fear of messing up, my fear of being embarrassed in front of other people. Like it's all, that is what is driving me. And with that awareness, I started asking myself, like, what would it mean if I were to promote myself fearlessly today, or if I were to lead fearlessly today, or if I was going to show up to that meeting fearlessly today, or if I was going to share something fearlessly today? Like, what would that look like? And what would that mean? What would it mean for us to hire fearlessly? What would it mean for us to, publish fearlessly, for us to post fearlessly, for us to really like, what would that look like? And I really started seeing this like contrast where I was like, damn, that would feel really good. And eventually, like after just asking myself those questions day after day and in little moments, like we'd be having a conversation and it's like, oh, well, I guess the fearless decision would be this. We should do that, right? And then after kind of getting into that, eventually one night in November of, last year, the name Fearless CEO like came to me in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh, I was like, that's it. And I literally felt this like release. I felt this like all this fear that I've been holding on to of perfectionism and doing it wrong, and that I'm not a good leader and I'm not a good CEO and I'm going to mess it up and, I'm not smart enough and all this stuff just like fell away. And it was like I could feel the fearless CEO, just like what that meant and what that could look like in my body. And it was so powerful. And then I started like writing about it and it all just started pouring out, where I was like, what does this mean? Like, this is all about stepping into a whole identity. And you know how we talk about, and Megan has talked about this a lot too in her content, about like, stepping into you 2.0 or being this next level version of yourself. And what would they be doing? Like, what would future Megan or future Mariah be doing? And when I thought about the fearless CEO, it really does feel like it's like an archetype that we can embody, or it's an alter ego that we can step into, or it's an identity that we can put on and kind of borrow the bravery from the fearless CEO and like identity, and kind of ask ourselves, well, what does Mariah, the fearless CEO, what is she doing today? How is she acting? How is she showing up? How is she leading? Right? And what is the fearless CEO version of me doing? Right? And trying to embody that a little bit more each day has been a great challenge, but also like truly life-changing and very freeing with this new awareness. So Megan, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, having seen this all happening behind the scenes.
I know, getting to see it unfold organically was a very cool experience because it really started as this personal challenge, this idea, what if we did things, one of our members of our team, Haley, is always great about reminding us like any path we choose has its difficulties, right? We're not choosing between easy and hard. So when we look at the decisions we have to make with a growing company, a growing team, a growing business, we have to make those decisions regardless. We can't opt out of them. So what if we were able to make those decisions from a place of empowerment, confidence, instead of fear or scarcity? And so it really started there, and to see it blossom and grow into not only a personal name, like a name for the company, but an ethos for our company and a ethos for our clients is so incredible. And I'm really excited to see the ripple effect, because all of it starts with the CEO and the leaders of your team and your company. And so if we as leaders of the team can be fearless in how we act, then that can ripple out into the team, not being afraid to make mistakes or fail and being more confident. And then they can support our clients fearlessly and allow our clients to be fearless. And then our clients have their own teams and own clients as well. So like it becomes this fearless ripple effect that will have an incredible reach that I'm so excited to kind of help the movement of fearlessness. I think online business owners, it's so easy to get caught up in analysis paralysis and, well, they're showing up better than me, so I'm not going to show up at all. And all of those ways we hold ourselves back. So I'm so excited for this new brand and to see what unfolds because of it.
And part of that too is like, it's perfectionism, it's the fear of messing up, but it's also one of the things that can happen, that this brand is really a big part, that's a big part of this, is that it's very easy in this industry to start looking outside of you for the answers and thinking that someone else has the secret key, and thinking that someone else is going to be able to make decisions for you better than you can, and thinking that someone else has has it all figured out and you don't. And it can be very easy to abdicate our power and to give it away to other people, and start looking outside of you for external validation and external answers. And such an important part of this is just a remembering to come back to you and be like, your intuition knows. Like at the end of the day, you can't make a mistake. There's literally no such thing as making a mistake. Like you're just going to learn a lesson, right? You can't make a mistake. You can always trust yourself, and really leaning back into like trusting your intuition and not seeking like, oh, I'm just going to, copy paste what someone else is doing, or I'm just going to imitate what someone else is doing because it looks successful from the outside, and actually like building something, being your own definition of a CEO, right? Like you being a fearless CEO is going to look very different than how I am a fearless CEO, right? For some people, being a fearless CEO is declaring that you're going for that multi-million-dollar business, right? That is fearless for some people. For other people, I think that it could be the most fearless thing they do in that moment is to say they're going to scale back their business and make a different decision to stay small. And that could be the most fearless CEO decision for them. You know what I mean? Like there's no one way. And that is so key to what this whole shift is about. Like we are about to usher in like a huge shift that the whole industry needs to know about, because there's so much of this, like there's one path to success. Here's how it looks, blah, blah, blah. And it's It's ridiculous, but it's also like part of what we're saying here is that we're embracing experimentation and we're embracing that there are so many different paths to success and there are so many different ways to do this. And there's not even one definition of success, right? So you being a fearless CEO might look totally different than how I would be a fearless CEO or someone else would be, but it's about figuring it out for yourself and trusting your intuition.
Yeah, I really think that stepping away from there's only one path to success, like you said, is such a fundamental part of this shift. So
Yeah.
while it's, a mindset shift in how we show up, it's also a strategic shift in how
Mhm.
we support our clients and in how we make decisions ourselves, because we've always known that there wasn't just one way to be successful, but now we're incorporating that into everything that we do and going to be able to support our clients and making the right decision for them instead of feeling like they have to choose between like A or B, or like I'm either
Mhm.
doing it perfectly or not at all. And
Yeah.
realizing that that's not really the world we live in. And
Yeah.
we don't have to feel like there's one right way to be a successful business owner and to grow a successful business. So it's an internal decision that impacts everything we do on the external as well, and
Totally.
how our clients make choices and how our curriculum is designed and so many incredible things like that. So
I
it's
love that.
it's truly like a top to bottom
I
new way
love
of
that.
operating.
Yeah, and one of the things you'll hear me say in the video on the website, if you choose to watch that, that's a clip from our internal meeting when we announced this brand and company name to our team, is that like I have never felt like a perfect CEO. I've never felt like I'm not the perfect CEO. I'm not the perfect coach. I'm not the perfect, like, I'm not perfect in every way. And I realized like you don't have to be the perfect CEO if you can be a fearless one. And you don't have to be the perfect coach if you can be a fearless coach. You don't have to be the perfect manager if you can be a fearless manager. You know what I mean? Like the goal is not perfect. That's not even what we're aiming for. The goal in our company is fearless. And so what does it mean to show up as an employee fearlessly? What does it mean to show up as, a customer service person today fearlessly? What does it mean to show up in your job fearlessly today, or as a salesperson, or in any of those roles? Like, what does it look like to show up fearlessly? And even just asking myself that question, not only in the morning, but also like during the, in the middle of the day when you're just like, I'm tired. What am I doing? And like, I just want to go, you're just like, I'm done, whatever. It's like, oh, what would it look like for me to like wrap up this day fearlessly? What would it look like for me to, share that thing that I've been holding on to, or launch that thing that I've been holding on to, or make that decision that I've been neglecting or putting on the back burner? And, you don't have to do it perfectly, but you can certainly do it fearlessly.
I love that. And it really is relevant whether you identify as a CEO or not. I
Yeah.
think this embodiment of being fearless is a game changer. And this is what we're doing internally with our team. Raya just kind of touched on it, but we are empowering, encouraging, and supporting our team in acting fearlessly within the company as well, and holding ourselves to that accountability and encouraging each other. Like, what if you did this fearlessly? Or like, hey, is this coming from a place of fear? And so for those of us who are not the CEO, but a part of the team, a part of the company, it's all about empowering more people to make decisions. So those
Yeah.
of you who are CEOs who are growing teams, you know how hard that is, that transition to letting go, to allowing others to not only make decisions, but make confident, fulfilling, rewarding decisions. It's a process. And so by allowing and giving permission to our team to be fearless, we're telling them right out of the bat, like, there's not really a mistake here. We
Yeah.
understand what success looks like for your position so we can have effective performance conversations, but we just want you to make fearless decisions. Do the best you can with what you have, and we will learn the lessons together. And it's a shift that we're not only making, it's not like Mariah's over here making a shift and nothing else is changing. It's
Yeah.
to the core of the company. It's going to be a journey and a process, but we're all in on it together. And I'm so excited to see, a year from now where our team is, as we've gotten to act fearlessly together as a team instead of being afraid to make a mistake, which so many of us can relate to regardless of your job title or what you do
Mhm.
on a day-to-day basis. We're afraid to mess up. We don't want to let people down. especially in today's day and age, we like job security. We don't want to mess that up. So it's natural for there to be a lot of fear in all components of our life right now. And so
Yeah.
by just removing that fear for our team and encouraging and supporting them and being fearless, it's going to, I think, change all of our lives in a really positive way.
I love that. Yeah, just like everything we do is from the inside out. That's like it's on the website. If you go there now, it's like that's part of it is like it's all from the inside out. And that's how we do everything. It's this ripple effect from the in that it starts with the inside of you, it starts with the inside of the company, it starts with everything from the inside. It starts to have this ripple effect. It starts to mirror outwards. And it's wild. Just like I said, something about the phrase fearless CEO, it like something just clicked for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can put things through that lens and start thinking, what would a fearless CEO do? Or what would I, as a fearless CEO, do in this situation? Right. And what would that look like? And it's just been really powerful. So I'm so excited to share this. This is also just one of like many more announcements that are coming over the next week. So keep an eye out on this space because we're going to be announcing some really exciting, fun things coming up next week that you don't want to miss. In the meantime, definitely go to fearlessceo.co and go check out the new website. You can like spend time in there, get lost in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you're going to fall in love. Everything about it is extremely intentional. Like I've been working with our designer, shout out to Lexi of Dynamo Ultima, who's done such a gorgeous job. And everything in there is really intentional, is really about metaphors for transformation, for stepping into your new identity. So nothing in there is just like a random, like, oh, it's just like a random design here or there. It's like everything there. You'll see a couple little Easter eggs in there. You'll see a little moth, you'll see a little snake, and everything is metaphors that I often use with my clients and reminding myself that like, I don't know if you all have ever heard this, but before a butterfly or moth can turn into this like gorgeous, beautiful creature, it literally has to turn into goo. And so like caterpillar will dissolve into actual goo in the chrysalis before it can like emerge as this gorgeous thing. And I remind my clients that all the time, where I'm like, it's normal to be in the goo. I remind myself that all the time, where it's like, it's okay, Mariah, to like be stuck in the goo for a while before you can emerge in this new upgraded identity, in this next level self, in this new sense of who you are and what you're capable of. And that's really intentional there too. So go over to the website, get lost in there, go download all the freebies. There's tons of great video trainings and cool resources on there as well. Megan, any last thoughts as we wrap this up?
I think just apologies if you hear my dogs barking, the trash
We
that
love
we
the
picked up
dogs.
outside. They love to make themselves known. But I really think that the best thing you could do is not only check out the website and see some of those incredible resources and watching that replay of the announcement to the team, which is such a cool thing we've chosen to make public. So definitely go check those out. But also I'd love to hear from anyone who's here with us live or watching the replay, as you take on the challenge of being fearless yourself in whatever capacity that means to you right now. What is one thing you want to do differently right now? If you can embrace that fearless attitude. So whether it's an action step or a mindset shift, would love to hear from you in the comments, like what being fearless could do for you and mean for you. And this can kind of be your chance to publicly claim that and start practicing embodying that fearless attitude. Like Mariah said at the very beginning, it isn't always, a flip the switch happens all of a sudden type of thing, but how can you start practicing? How can you slowly start becoming fearless right now? And would love to hear from you in the comments and see what that's going to do for you in your life.
I love that. Yeah. What would it mean for you to show up fearlessly or show up as a fearless CEO or fearless manager or fearless coach or whatever your role or title is? What would it mean for you to show up fearlessly today, tomorrow, this week, in your life and in your business? And really start thinking about, we're going to be talking about this more next week, but literally start thinking about what would my business look like if I were making decisions fearlessly? And you might be shocked. Like I know for me, I was shocked how different the business direction started to go when I thought about that. It's like, oh, you mean I don't just have to make decisions based on like people pleasing, what other people want from me, expectations, society, like all these things. It's like, wait, if I was making decisions fearlessly and I like was just like, this is what I want it to look like, that would be very different, and it can be totally eye-opening. So I encourage you to journal on that and think about it. And Megan and I will see you over the next 2 weeks. We've got, like I said, lots of fun announcements coming. But thank you so much for spending time with us, not only today, but we started this business 7 years ago, and I just can't believe that we're still here rocking and rolling and like just continuing to evolve and up level, over and over again. We're going to continue to go through these evolutions. And I'm just so honored for everyone who's been along for the ride that whole time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who was here with us live. And if you are catching the replay, I can't wait to see your comments of what being fearless is going to mean to you. And like Mariah said, stay tuned. If you aren't already following us on social media or on our email list, take action, do those things, because you don't want to miss all of the fun, exciting things coming your way in the next couple of weeks.
Yep. All right, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.